Did you ever have one of those weeks where nothing seems to go right? That's my week with the SVO. I attempted to pull a dent out of the deck lid. The problem is the deck lid isn't solid, it just kind of fluctuates. So I spent 8 hours hot gluing the pull tabs onto the deck lid and pulling on the dent. And they would pop off, and I'd have to remove the hot glue from the pullers and also from the car. And I did that over and over and over and over again. At some point, I decide this is just going nowhere. I'm wasting time here. I could have called somebody and had them do it, and it would have been a way better result, and my arm wouldn't be so tired. So I decided I'm just going to throw in the towel. Let's get the wife. We'll go to the local ice cream shop, get some ice cream. Ice cream makes everything better. So we jump in the SVO and go. That was great. Went down, ice cream was fantastic. The way back, the car dies. So I get it towed back to the house. And that's where we are right now. So I have a couple of theories on what it might be. It may be the TFI module. It's my first guess. So there's my test light, and it's a bulb style. It's down inside this wire on the coil. And I want to see if this thing flashes, which means that the TFI is doing its job. Now, it may have cooled down overnight, sitting here, and it may start right up. If it's flashing, then it should be okay. It's doing its job. If it's not flashing, it's steady, then it's bad. So that light was steady, which is not good. So my TFI module is indeed bad. It's not interrupting the flow of the coil, which that's what it's supposed to do. So I'm going to start to pull that thing and pick up another one and go from there. I'm going to pull the negative cable here just because there's no reason to have juice run into the car. I want to replace this cable. I really don't like these type of terminals. Not my favorites. Then this thing is right on the side of the distributor, right there, where the wires are running. I have to pull that connection. Then I have to get two 5mm screws out of the side of that thing. So this is my problem. This is a TFI module. Apparently on the Fox bodies, if you own a Fox body, you know what one of these is, and you've probably replaced it. This is not a Motorcraft. I'm not sure what the name is. They did have a lot of thermal paste on the back, so I don't think that was the issue. I think it just decided to call it quits. These things apparently get really hot, and Ford relocated these later off the distributor. The distributor is supposed to act as a heat sink. That's why there's thermal paste on there. This thing gets extremely hot. So the thermal paste is supposed to transfer the heat to the distributor, and that's supposed to cool it, but never happened. Ford got sued. There was a lot of issues. They make a tool for this. I don't have the tool, but I made my own tool. I have a little electronics fix-it kit, and that is a 5.5mm screw adapter. Taped that to a 4mm socket, and that gave me the depth I needed to get these out. I'm going to throw this little setup in my glove box in case I need it again. Hopefully I don't. So do I look dejected? Because guess what, it wasn't. It wasn't the TFI module. So I got the wife to come out, pulled the cap, had her look at the rotor and said, hey, let me know if that's spinning. And it isn't. So hey, it's the roll pin on the distributor, right? So pull the distributor, roll pin's intact, everything looks good. So yeah, it's Wednesday. I'm ready for this week to end. I just am. It's one thing after another. I gotta dig in from here and see where I'm going. Timing belt, don't know. But that's kind of where I'm thinking right now. I have an answer to the mystery. See, these are supposed to have all their teeth, not, you know, these teeth and not these. These are missing. And when they're missing, the belt doesn't spin. I'm imagining this is probably the original timing belt. I did order a new belt. I also ordered a new tensioner because, you know, why not? It came as part of the kit. The problem is, since this belt lost teeth, everything is out of time. So now I've got to get this engine back in time, get it on top dead center, get all my timing marks lined up. Then I can put the belt on. While I'm there, of course, yes, I'm going to do the water pump. And I'm probably going to clean everything up because every time I touch something, I feel like I need to clean it. Well, good morning. It's been a week and a day since the SVO threw its timing belt. I'm to the point now where I think I can get the thing started today. The new belt's on. I've cleaned up a lot of the engine compartment of this car just because I'm there. I have the opportunity to do it. Today I'm going to pull the distributor, get that set to number 1, and hopefully get this thing started. I then need to set the timing so that's correct. And hopefully that's the end of this chapter. I can move on to things because the car's mobile. I can get it back in the garage, get it back up on the lift, and do what I have to do there. Got my distributor set to number 1, and I need to put my fan back in. Well, I don't need to, but going to because it's really not in the way of what I have to do right now. And I'm going to crank the ignition over and cross my fingers. Okay, so I'm not expecting this thing to run perfect. I know the timing's off. I don't have my timing light hooked up yet. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. I just want it to turn over and actually run. Okay, so the timing's got to be bumped forward a little bit, but it's sort of running, so that's a good sign. Okay, maybe a little more timing in. That's worse. Okay, let's go the other way. We have a winner. Hooray. Man, that took way longer than it should have. 2300 gear jammer. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Never really put a timing belt on a car before. Timing change, yes. Timing belt, no. But you made it pretty simple. Just gotta get a timing light on this thing and get this thing set down the way it should be. But it's up and running, so I'm happy. And you'd think that would be the end of the story, but It wasn't. I got the SVO out in the road, and when I got into the higher RPMs, it would buck. It would kick like I wasn't getting fuel or I wasn't getting spark. And that led me to tearing the whole front of the car off again, just to make sure that I had the timing marks lined up on the belt. See, all those marks need to be in the line, and you have to be on top dead center. If you're not, the timing's off for the whole engine when you drop the distributor in. And if you're guessing the TFI module I replaced at the very beginning of the video was the issue, well, you'd be right. So after putting the whole front end back on, because everything was lined up, it was all correct, switching out the TFI module to the one that I pulled way back at the beginning of the video, dropping the distributor back in, the car's running like a champ. So all's well that ends well, but I'm definitely buying a spare TFI module, and I'm going to get a Motorcraft because the one I purchased at a store not to be named was defective. If you'd like to learn more about the history of the SVO, maybe check out this video over here. That gives you all the history from 84 through 86. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. That would certainly be appreciated. Also, please give it a thumbs up. That way other people see it. Until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you.